Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night. We're broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans. I'm your host, Don Yazzie. With me, my co-host, Darren Yazzie.
Oh,
There he is. What's up? How's it going, Darren?
It's going. Kind of sick this time, so everybody plays their part right now, but the show must go on, huh?
Oh, man, yeah. Everyone, send your prayers to Darren. We got the bug going on, and we got all kinds of things going on. So,
Yeah.
just,
I think tonight we got even, what do you call them, pale crawlers, rakes. And we're talking with myth monsters and mullets today. So,
oh yeah, Mr. John Methencamp, myths, monsters, and mullets. Very interesting name here. I was trying to find an old picture of myself back in Nam when I had my own mullet, but maybe next time I'll embarrass myself. You know, my mother did that plenty enough. You know, with the Joe Dirt hair mullet, but this guy has the best looking mullet on the east side of Mississippi. Everyone, Mr. John Methencamp, here he is.
What's going on, guys?
hey.
What's up, man? What's up?
There
you go. Yeah. Go on. Hit it. Yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to have some chew in your mouth right now. and then that's when we come and say, hey, John, save some cousins for the rest of us. No, just kidding. You hog them all, you dog.
That's right.
Oh yeah. It is an honor and a pleasure to have you here. Giving us your time and blessing us with your golden locks right there, you know. Just show everyone that mullet again and just tell everyone, say, hey, look at all Navajos love spam. Just show them that neck. Say, hey, we got some spam right here and some mullets. The double combo. No, just kidding. Horrible joke.
100% bought and paid for.
Oh, nice. That is awesome right there. Real quick here, let us catch up with our viewer comments right here before we go on with your story. Mr. Curly, hey, what's up, brother? Curly, what's going on, brothers from another mother? No, he didn't say it like that. He said, what's going on, brothers from another mother? What's up, Mr. Curly? I'm ready for another show. Same here. We have another interesting feller like yourself right here with us. Z-Sun Dragon. Hi, Don. What's up, Z-Sun Dragon? B-Cast. Is it just me or has it not started? Yeah, sorry, B-Cast. I'm used to starting at 7:10, so I didn't realize it was at 7 o'clock. So I was like, whoops, okay. Heidi Gold. Hey, what's up, Heidi? Hi, Don. Much love from Boulder. Going over to YouTube. Oh, thanks. Keep us tuned in on both. Oh, just kidding.
Hey,
Heidi Gold. Hi, Darren. Funky Wizard. Nice. What's up, y'all? First time catching a live. Hope everyone having a great night so far. We sure are, Funky Wizard. Thank you for joining us. It's much better. It's much better right now with bringing your funkiness here. JP. Hello, y'all. What's up, JP? B-Cast. Nice intro. Thank you, B-Cast. Melody Alvarez. Hey, what's up, Melody? Kurt W75. Hey, Don, Darren, and John.
What's up?
I'd like to say thank you for those of you that joined us from Sean Kelly's Into the Night, and now you're here while you're into the night. Don't whistle at night, and we're here. We're gonna be whistling here. Episode 29. This is John, your story, Mr. Fike. We're handing off the mic to you. Go ahead.
My name is John Fike, also known as John Methencamp. I am the host of Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. I don't even remember how you and I met, Don. I think it was on Facebook, but
no, it's Rod. Rod.
Was it through Rod?
Yeah, Lodge Tales podcast.
Rod was on your show, and he's a friend of mine. I come in to support him, and that's how we ended up meeting. That's right. So,
oh yeah.
So,
so as soon as you contacted me, go ahead. Sorry.
I will say, Don, on Spotify, your first episode on my show is number 2 all time.
Nice.
And Darren, your episode is coming up here in just a couple weeks.
Oh, even better too. So
next time I'll try to get a mullet. I'll get a mullet.
I can send you one.
Maybe that will help out the ratings. Oh yeah. That'll help out the ratings. Definitely.
Right.
Oh man.
So, how's the podcast going? How's everything?
And it's going pretty good. Just hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, I think last month.
Nice.
Spotify's taking off right now, so everybody wants to jump over to Spotify and give me some likes and some comments over there. I really appreciate that.
Could you remind everyone where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me on most podcast players, YouTube, Spotify, everywhere but Apple right now, and that's going to be changing here very shortly. So,
nice.
Look up Myths, Monsters, and Mullets.
Yeah,
that's not Myths, Monsters, and Mullets.
No,
Myths. No, to be clear out there for you listeners. No, just play horrible joke. Myths,
well, I am from Indiana, so.
Oh man, it's pretty much everywhere. It's pretty much everywhere on the Navajo Nation. Pretty much anything that's not welded down. Well, that might be still taken too. So anything will be taken. So, oh man, but that's besides the point here. Could you share with us what got you into this podcasting and lead us into your sighting and all the way up to where you seen that one dear lady where she took advantage of you, like you shared that one. I'll just play. I just see that picture behind you.
I told you that in confidence, and here you are telling everybody.
No, I just see that picture behind you, so just kidding. But
those are my
go ahead.
cougars.
Oh yeah. Nice. Right. I was telling my wife, I was like, John has the cougar ladies by him. I was like, we need something like a logo, so we have 2 ravens. So I'm like, oh, nice, okay. So
that artwork was done by Chris Madman Goins from the Nevermore Hollows podcast. Nice. So we'll get into how I got started in all this. In 2021, I was a complete skeptic. And let's call it open-minded skeptic to anything paranormal. And we decided we were going to do a ghost hunt at the Randolph County Infirmary in Winchester, Indiana. Well, we had some stuff happen, culminating with a rock being thrown at me from the darkness. And everybody was on camera, so we don't know where the rock came from. At that point, I was like, okay, ghosts are real. So what else is real? And first thing I thought was, I've always kind of thought UFOs were real. We can't be the only ones out there. But I was like, what about Bigfoot? Could Bigfoot be real? So I started listening to podcasts. And I was listening to Sasquatch Chronicles, and I heard the Ohio Howl for the first time, the recording of it. And I realized I'd heard that when I was a kid in Southern Ohio. So that got me thinking, well, there's got to be something to this stuff. So I started digging into it, you know. In 2024, summer of 2024, I had started all my content creation as comedy. That's where the whole cougar hunter thing came from, and the mullet. So I was doing a TikTok live, sitting around a campfire, just, you know, whatever. Me and my wife like to primitive camp, and she had went to bed, and I'd set up my camera, and I was like, I'm just going to ask people for the paranormal encounters, and it took off. People really enjoyed coming in, talking about their ghost stories and dogman encounters, Bigfoot, you know, whatever. And so I did that around the fire for quite a while. And then in October of 2024, I went to the Ohio Bigfoot Jamboree as Methencamp. I was just being silly. And I met the guys from Nevermore Hollows. And after striking up a friendship with them, they started coming in my lives on TikTok. And Alan over there was like, dude, you're doing all the work. Just start a podcast. So that's what I did. I started recording my lives at that point and putting them out as episodes. And then I eventually moved to a more professional setup with better cameras, better microphone, things like that. So Myths, Monsters, and Mullets was born. So, yeah.
Oh, now we're here, huh?
Yeah.
So, ever since the podcast, has anything spooky been happening? I know for Don and myself, it seems like we just put out a beacon on ourselves, and it just keep getting weirder and weirder. Man, I swear.
Yeah. And I will warn everybody when I tell this story, and I don't normally do this on live. So this is the first time I've done this on live. And I may get a little emotional. In November, it was November 30th, 2024. My wife and I live very close to the Ohio-Indiana border. I grew up in Ohio. I now live in Indiana. So my wife and I, we went to Greenville, Ohio to go Christmas shopping. Spent the whole day Christmas shopping. We're coming back towards the house. And we go through Union City, Indiana. And for those that aren't familiar with Indiana, northern Indiana, where I live, very flat. You know, it's a lot of cornfields. It's very agricultural. Not a lot of big towns. Union City's very small. But we get through Union City and we're coming up State Route 28. And this is like 7:00 at night. November 30th is dark. We'd had snow flurries earlier in the day, so there was no moon or nothing. My wife was putting in an order on Walmart on her phone while we were driving home for our groceries the next day. And we're going down the road, and there's a car in front of us. I don't know. It's hard to tell at night, but maybe 200 to 300 yards ahead of us. Very straight road, not a lot of curves. There's no lights, no like street lights or anything. It's farms. You know, you might have an occasional security light or whatever out in somebody's barn or whatever. But so we're driving along, and I'm watching, because this time of year deer are very active. They're on the move, especially when it's cold. So if you're in an area with a lot of wildlife like that, you keep an eye on the car in front of you. So, you know, you're watching for brake lights. You're watching to see if they swerve. You might see something walk in between you and the car in front of you, you know. So nothing like that happened. But we're driving along, and we come to this little creek. And this creek feeds the Mississippi River, which the Mississippi River starts right there by Union City, Ohio, or Indiana. Same thing. We cross this creek, and there's something in the road. And at first, all I can see is it's gray. Like, the best way I've been able to describe it is the color of cigarette ash. It's just like not really dark gray, but not really light gray either. And I can't tell what it is. We're doing probably around 60 mile an hour. This thing may have been 50 yards ahead of me, and it's like right on the center line. And as we get closer, it's the upper torso of a man, from like the belly button up is all I can see. And he's like up on his knuckles, like holding himself up with his fists. And he's kind of looking to the right. And, you know, it takes a second for me to, you know, process what's going on here. So at first I'm like, you know, what is that? And then it turned and looked at me. And it didn't have any eyes. It was just like holes where the eyes should be. It didn't have any clothes on, didn't have any hair. Most of the time when you hear about like a rake or a pale crawler, it's described as being like really skinny, like malnourished or whatever. This thing was not. I wouldn't say it was like bodybuilder muscular, but it was very fit. Like you could see muscle definition in its chest and its arms. So it turns and looks at me, and from like the eyes down, it was like skin. There was no nose, no mouth, just skin. And it was that same gray color. And as we get closer, I swerve because it's up on its knuckle or up on its fists. And with its right hand, it takes like a step towards me. And then with its left hand, it reaches out like it's lunging at the car. And I swerve, and my wife looks up, and I was like, "Did you see that?" And she said no, because she was putting in that order. And at the time, I couldn't even tell her what I saw. Because it was like my brain was trying to process what it was. And we drove probably 5-10 minutes before I finally was able to tell her what I saw. And first thing she said was, "Do you want to go back?" And I'm like, "F no." That shouldn't exist. I don't want to see it again. And I'm crying. I'm not too big of a man to admit that I was crying after this happened. I just felt fear, more fear than I've ever felt in my life. And so we drive on home, and like I said earlier, I'm good friends with Alan and Chris from Nevermore Hollows. I got to call and tell somebody what I saw, somebody that's going to believe me, and not tell me I'm full of crap. And so I call them, and we start kind of breaking down, what could this thing be? And this one thing I forgot to mention, this was about 100 yards from a cemetery. It was on the side of the road. So Alan thought maybe it was some kind of like ghoul or, something like that. Because at first, when I first described it, it kind of looked like it was coming up out of the ground. Because I couldn't see legs. I couldn't see anything below like where the belly button should have been. And so, he was thinking ghoul, something along those lines. And Chris, I think, asked me, he's like, did you hit it? And at the time I said no. Because if you've ever hit an animal or anything, you hear it, you feel it. None of that happened. I just swerved. So I get off the phone with them, and I'm a smoker. I needed a cigarette. I went outside, and I got to thinking about it. I'm like, maybe I did hit it. I don't know. So I went out, and I looked at the front fender, and there was nothing. And then I get to the driver's side door, and there's 4 finger marks down the side of my vehicle. And I have those pictures if you want to see them.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow.
And I will.
Yeah, it really brings up a. You guys having trouble on your laptop?
I had them pulled up here a second ago, and now they're not showing up. Where's my desktop?
Yeah, I know this. Meanwhile, while you're trying to find or bring it up, I'll read the comments.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Chris Soto says, "Hi guys, rock the mullet. I have one too, and I'm proud of it." Oh man. At Doctail Chinaman, I think I said that wrong. Hi guys, what's up, Chinaman? How's it going? Mr. Curly just subscribed to Mr. Mullet. Love all the vloggers who talk about the cryptozoology. Definitely for real. Heidi cool. Hello, Don and Darren and John. Much love from Boulder. Thank you, Heidi.
Oh, it's telling me there's an issue with the file. Try again in a little while. Let me try again.
You can email it to me. I think
let's
I'm
do
able
this.
to put pictures on there right now. I might be able to.
Yeah, that's so what do you think you've seen? You think you've seen a pale crawler or rake or
at the time, like I said, I think it was here, I'm gonna do this.
Oh hey.
There's the marks. Can you see that?
Oh yeah.
From that fingerprint to that fingerprint was 8 inches. And
So How tall do you think this thing was? Was it a?
Whoa!
Ooh.
Let me get rid of that. Stop sharing. There we go. When I passed this thing, its head was. We were driving a 2005 Xterra, and this thing was. The head was. I could see it above the hood as we went by, and I mean it was close. It was close enough to reach the vehicle. So, what's that? 3.5 feet, but that's just the upper torso. So I can't tell you exactly how tall it would have been if it stood up. But if that's half the body, then 7 feet. I mean,
whatever it is, man, I wouldn't have turned around, and I don't know if I'd be processing that as well. I feel for you.
Yeah, I honestly I did very well telling that story this time because normally it's been a year now, but even driving back through that area for the longest time, I wouldn't by myself. At night, I would go during the day, but not at night. And even when like my wife was with me after like I said, I grew up in where we were shopping in that area. So to go visit, family and stuff like that, I have to drive down that road. And when we would drive through there, like I would white knuckle the steering wheel because, I thought I was going to see it again.
Oh, man, no.
And if I was by myself, I would take a different route, even if it was 30 minutes out of the way. I didn't care. It was not something I wish anybody to see.
How far? Oh wait, it's been a while. So I'm like wondering, there has to be a lot of cave systems out there. No, you guys got a lot of those.
Actually, this area has a lot of burial mounds.
Oh, could be
the Mississinawa River.
Right.
Just down the Mississinawa River. I looked it up one time. I think it was like 9 miles from where I had this sighting. There is a native burial mound that's on private land, and an English graveyard was put on top of it. And you can't get to it. It's on private property. Like they don't let people go to it. But about it's a good 15-minute drive from there. There's a mound near Winchester, Indiana. And then you guys ever heard of Hans Zimmerman?
Hans Zimmerman. That does ring a bell. Yeah, it does ring a bell.
He wrote a book called Encyclopedia of the Mounds or something like that. And what he did is he was researching all these burial mounds that were on private property, like that weren't recognized. And he found like 90 burial mounds that hadn't been recognized. Wow. And one of them, as far as I can tell, is about 8 miles from my house, which would have been about another 8 to 10 miles from where my sighting was. And according to him, this mound had oversized skeletons in it.
I was just going to say, yeah.
Giants.
I have done a little research on the mounds, like 9-foot skeletons. Some of them had 6 fingers and double rows of teeth. We have a lot of evidence of that here in the Southwest, pictographs all over the place.
Yeah, I really would like to come out and see some of that stuff, even though I told you I wasn't coming to visit you.
Oh no, go for it. It's a lot to see here. Especially at night.
We were talking about Rod, and he had heard my story, and he came on my show, and we were kind of breaking it down a little bit. And he only had one question for me after hearing the description and stuff like that. He asked where it was on the road. Like, was it in front of me or was it to the side? And it was kind of to the side. And according to him, the Blackfoot have a spirit called dragging entrails full of dirt. And it's a half-bodied man that you see alongside the path or alongside the trail out of the corner of your eye. And he kind of that maybe that's what I saw. I don't know. It's not easy for someone like me to have information on the different native spirits like that. So the only thing I can the only thing I can do is go off what Rod told me. So I don't have all the background information on that spirit. But he kind of thought maybe that's what I saw, because I didn't see the legs. Like, could there have been legs? If there was, it was dragging them, and maybe the car lights it was behind him and I didn't see him, but I didn't see any legs. Like it was like its belly was on the ground. I don't know.
That is disturbing. All right, disturbing. So far from my running around and asking questions before I started the podcast, before Darren and I started the show. So around western portion of the Navajo Nation, there's a lot of cave systems. So we have stories, so many stories of these caves. And I was working at this area, and there's this one Navajo guy. He was how we can say, like, stoic. He was serious all the time. He wouldn't joke around with the other coworkers. He would just do his job. That's what I would notice. And I was asking these other coworkers about their scary stories, if they seen any Sasquatch here and there. I was getting all kinds of amazing stories, and this guy, I noticed him. His face was changing, and I was expecting him to, just laugh at me or say something, or just say, "Hey, if you go and bother that, talk about it, they're gonna get you." I was expecting that to come out of him, but he came straight over to me. He's like, I'm not afraid of anything, in this world. I'm not afraid of spirits. He's all, but one time he gave me the direction, this cave. And he said that he's missing cattle for his in-laws, and he was looking for the cattle, and he noticed that a cattle drag marks, and he tracked it into a cave. He said it was a huge cave. It was a hole in the ground, basically, and he turned on his flashlight, and he seen the pale crawler. He said the limbs. He said same thing was gray, and this thing had like long hair. He said like kind of like Smeagol, Gollum, like the hair, and this thing was its back. Its legs was backwards. You know what I mean? Backward facing limbs, and this thing had long claws, and it was dragging cattle, like full grown cattle, like nothing. It dragged it deeper into the cave. And he hightailed it out of there. And he said that he gave me directions to that exact cave. And then he said another time he was looking for sheep, and he went into this other cave. And he said there's a ship parked inside of the cave, a UFO ship. So this one area of the Navajo Nation, I've been getting. Everyone's been telling me, check this out, come over here. I just need time. But with the pale crawler, we've been getting that up and down Page, Arizona. People saying that it looks like Gollum, Smeagol's. It has no clothes on. It's pale. It's running around on power line roads, and also Goatman. So there's a lot of people, or a lot of beings that could match that description.
Right. Mr. Curley said He's right. It's Fritz Zimmerman, not Hans Zimmerman. Hans Zimmerman is the composer. And, yeah.
Oh yeah. The Lion King.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did get a musician, an Navajo musician. He brought that same creature up too, out there on Navajo. What was it Navajo, New Mexico, or Navajo, Arizona? Right there, he's seen it on the freeway, and yeah, whatever it is, it's there.
Yeah. And then, like I was telling you guys before we started, that 911 call out of North Carolina, that made the rounds here just a month or so ago. When he described what he saw, he described it as white, like it had white skin. But the face that he described is exactly what I saw. I don't remember seeing ears. I don't know if the thing had ears or not. I was too busy looking at the eyes, and the eyes just looked like holes, like they was just black, like
So
a
it was
skull.
like deep inside the socket, like eyes was deep inside.
I had somebody ask me, "You do it?" I think maybe the eyes were just so set back that I couldn't see them. That could be, but I felt like it was looking at me. So I don't think it was just in shadow. Like, I just think it, like, I don't know. It was like sockets, like in a skull.
Yeah.
No, it was just big old
definitely does sound
flesh. No nose, no mouth, no ears.
Right. It was flat, and it kind of like with a goatee, like it came down just a little bit farther than like a skull would. Like it was kind of stretched, like the skin was stretched.
Do you think you've seen an alien? Do you think you've seen a gray alien?
Man, I've got to ask that question too, and it could be. I like I said, for the longest time, I just called this the thing. And if you go to my YouTube channel, you can find the video where I told everybody what I saw the very next night, and I'm very emotional on that. But
you know what, man? If like when you were telling the story, I was gonna tell you, you're gonna cry. I'll cry with you.
I did really well. The last time I told this story, which has been a few months ago, I still broke down a little bit, but we're coming up on a year now. It's like I said, every time I go down that road, I still think about it, but it's not as fresh anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, some wounds just heal over time, I guess. Huh? You would say.
Yep.
In
time, but you never forget. You always know what's out there in the darkness.
Right.
Let's see here, Patsy Oyster. I think I said that right. Hi, all. Hey, Patsy.
Hey.
Let's see here. Okay. Gustavo Cordoba. Hello. Shalom from Venezuela. Hello, Gustavo. Shalom. Hello. Z-Sun Dragon. Hi, Darren.
Hey.
Let's see. We got a question from the audience right here. BCast. Did you see the thing before you started your paranormal / cryptid interests, or after you started?
It was after I started doing like the paranormal lives on TikTok. My show, like when I started doing this format with interviewing people, that didn't start until January of this year. So it was shortly before that, but I was doing the paranormal lives on TikTok probably 6 months before that.
Oh, so you kind of spoke it into existence type of deal. Sounds like
yeah. Had a lot of people say that, once you start looking into this stuff, that you're poking the bear, and I think I did, but I think I was meant to see it. I think that I think I needed, just like when I went on that ghost hunt, I didn't really believe, and the ghost said, we'll show you, and they did. They threw a rock at me.
Right.
Well, and I think at this point, this is when I had started getting into the cryptids, really deep diving into them, listening to other people's stories and things like that. And I still, even though I had some possible Bigfoot encounters, I never saw the thing. But
like we were saying before, like, oh yeah, I think it was you heard one of the howls, and you were saying that you used to hear that as a kid, and you never knew what it was. So,
yeah, and then I think I had him walking around outside the camper or the trailer that I was sleeping in. But at the time, I didn't believe in any of that stuff. I was somewhere around 12 years old when all that stuff happened. And it was Ohio in the 80s. Bigfoot doesn't exist, and even if it does, it's Pacific Northwest problem. Not Ohio.
Only on the Pacific Northwest.
And now I know that
if it is,
they're everywhere.
It's all under bear now. It's all under bear. You just seen a bear. That's all it is.
The thing that you saw, did it have a distinct race? I couldn't tell you what the race was. It didn't have a nose or a mouth. It was gray all over. Like I said, like a cigarette ash gray.
Miss G, hi all. Hope everyone is doing well. Oh, likewise, Miss G. Have you heard of RD6 Killer Clark and her book Encounters with the Star People? Untold Stories of the American Indians? Ooh, oh man.
I have not, but I'd like to hear it. I'd like to read it.
Definitely. Star.
Yeah, I know these burial mounds. They always come. People report them being guarded. By entities like these dogmen. People will see around these burial mounds, and just a whole bunch of weirdness around these burial mounds.
One of the first dogman, like recorded dogman in print, was in a burial mound, like it was digging into it or coming out of it or something. It had something to do with a burial mound.
Yeah, these seem to be guarded. He's like, don't mess with old burial mounds like that.
Like for here in the Southwest, the things that correlate with old burial grounds would be first off would be ET. Like you would see like those bright lights around the ruins, or they would land up there. They'll be up there. There'll be lights going on up top on those mesas, and another one of those things that correlate with ruins, that we see on this side is skinwalkers. We're told stay away from Anasazi ruins because they're still practicing their witchcraft in there. The old Navajos are practicing shape shifting or practicing their poisons, or who knows what they'll be doing when you come up on them. But they'll know you're there because the magic will stop working. They'll say, "Hey, someone's here." They'll go out there and see. So as far as Indiana, how many stories or sightings have you came across of the same thing that you've seen?
I've never had anybody come on my show to talk about a pale crawler. So, and as far as reports of them in my area, I've never heard of one. This happened 15 minutes from my house.
Wow.
Getting closer.
Yeah. Now there have been Bigfoot sightings and howls heard in my area. But
you got anything recorded out there?
Do I?
Yeah, anybody?
On the what's it called? A mapping project. You go on there, you'll find several accounts and recordings from my area.
Yeah. Yeah. Earlier episodes, I talk about the Bigfoot uh, that stalked the house with us, and that one was kind of a woo, woo, it was that howl like that for like 45 minutes, and it was just me, my mom, my father at the house right there. So whatever it is, it's out there too, and it's always a good thing to talk about stuff like this. Every once in a while, I listen to one of the another podcast, and they'll have some other person that would do the exact same howl, and like, oh, finally, like now I know I'm not crazy, sitting there howling like what I heard, and some people hear it, some people hear it too. So
Yeah, the one I
You
heard,
have a. Oh, go ahead.
it was like it woke me up. We were camping down in southern Ohio, and I woke up and I thought I heard like a weird tornado siren, like that.
Ooh.
Like it started off low and went high, but then it just cut off, and it woke me up. And I laid there for a minute. I was like, well, maybe I was dreaming. Sometimes you hear stuff in your dreams and it wakes you up. And I was starting to drift back to sleep, and it happened again. And I'm like, what? That doesn't sound like a tornado siren, but it kind of sounds like a tornado siren. But it was real, I don't know, it was loud and deep, where like tornado sirens are real high and shrill, and it wasn't coming from the direction of the nearest town. It was coming from, it happened in Tar Hollow State Park, and the sound was coming from like the center of the park. And so I was like, what is that? It just doesn't sound right, but it cut off again, So I laid there, and it did it a third time. So I was like, okay, well, if this is a tornado siren, I got to wake everybody up, because we're in campers, horse trailers, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I was sleeping in the horse trailer because it was too hot inside the camper that night. And so I get up and I put my shoes on, and I go to get in the camper. This is back in the 80s. It wasn't like pull up an app on your phone to find out if there's storms in your area. You had to listen to the radio. And so I went into the camper to find the radio. I woke my grandpa up. But as I was going in, I heard it a fourth time, like before I got in the camper. And got in the camper and turned on the radio, and there was no rain in the area or anything. And my grandpa yelled at me for waking him up at 2:00 in the morning and said, go back to bed. So I did. It was just something weird that happened, But then whenever I heard that recording of the Ohio Howl, I'm like, that's exactly what I heard.
Yeah. I have heard that before. It starts out like it gets longer, like 25 seconds, almost 30 seconds. And it's like the set of the lungs, and just like that is not a human. That
Right.
is huge. I heard that one time out in Navajo Mountain area on the Utah side. We're by this main creek, and I went outside to get some fresh air. My wife was in the little cabin, and I heard that yell. First, I thought it was a cow in the creek, and it was no cow. It was something a lot larger, and it was like 25 seconds. It stopped and it went again. I was like, I ran into the cabin, and I was panicking. I was panicking. My wife never seen me like that, and I was asking her, where's the guns? I got my father-in-law's 22, and I got his bow and arrow. I got his axe. I got the sword. I got the spear. I got the shield. Oh, man. I realized I was overreacting, so I had to calm down, and my wife was just looking at me like, what in the world? Yeah, I understand. I've heard that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, they also say these Bigfoot characters, they mimic sirens, or like yours, or they sound like railroad or trains. They mimic sounds, or they mimic, your parents' voice. So
There was
it's really
one
odd
time.
to.
There was one time down there in that same state park. Like I slept a lot of times in the horse trailer because it was just too hot in the camper. My grandparents had a old Winnebago motorhome, and my bed was the one above the captain's chairs, so it was just freaking hot as hell up there. And so a lot of times, if it wasn't supposed to rain, I would just sleep in the horse trailer. And one morning I woke up, and it was early, like nobody else was up, and I heard crows, but they didn't sound right. Like they sounded like 600-pound crows. It was like, what the heck is that? It was just sounded kind of like crows, just really loud and deep. Was it Bigfoot? I don't know, but it was weird.
Right.
Yeah. I do have a friend that lives in Ohio, Pennsylvania area, and he does say that that's the most Bigfoot encounters that he's ever got, because he's a fisherman, and along those rivers right there, he gets a lot of activity.
Yeah, that southeast Ohio area is very active. Hocking Hills, Salt Fork. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think Ohio, they think corn and flatland. That's true for Northwest Ohio, but Southeast Ohio, that's part of Appalachia.
That way, beautiful land.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful land. Let's see. We got one of the Renee Drew. You seek them, they seek you. That is true. NJ, I made it. What's up, NJ? Nice. We're happy that you made it. Okay. So you mentioned that you might have seen it, or you encountered a fae, right? Fairy, right? Or did I say it wrong? Fae.
Oh,
fae folk. Yeah.
No, I saw something. It was a weird light. This was just this past summer. We were camping again, me and my wife, and a lot of times I just stay up a little later, maybe drinking some adult beverages, and she ends up going to bed. Well, I decided I was going to step away from the camp and do a live, like in the middle of the woods. And as I'm walking along, and I'm live at this time. It's on my YouTube. I get to, I'm just walking along, and I look off to my right, and I see this light, and it's like on the ground. It's not through the trees. It's down at like the base of a tree, but it's in the middle of this like really thick, like there's all kinds of briars and stuff like that. And at first I thought it was eye shine or something like that, because I had my flashlight next to my phone, just kind of moving around so I could see what was in my light. And I'm like, oh, there's some eye shine. I wonder what that is. And I move my light, and I realize, wait a minute, that light's still there. I'm like, what the heck is that? And it would blink out, and it would come back on. And I'd move, like I was trying to move to try to find it again, and then it was on the other side of the tree. So whatever it was self-illuminating, and it moved. So I don't know what it was. I went around to try to get to the other side, and I couldn't see it. So then I come back around the other way, and it was in a different location. And I never could figure out what it was.
Do you remember what color light was giving off?
It was white. It was like a white light.
Oh,
yeah.
So that was all live, huh?
Yeah, it's in one of my lives. You can go back and look at it. Audacious Amber, how you doing?
Oh yeah.
What's up, Amber? Heck yeah. Man, so have how many times or how many witnesses have you spoken to that have seen the same thing you seen on that light?
The
Or
lights. I just had an episode about orbs. It was about a month ago.
Huh.
I don't get a lot of orb stories, and I'll tell you why. Because when I do my lives, I tell people you have to be pretty convincing for me to believe that you saw an orb. A lot of the orbs that people see, it's IR lights reflecting dust or bugs or stuff like that. To me, if it's an orb, you need to be able to see it with your naked eye, like what I saw.
Yeah.
So I don't get a lot of people that talk about orbs, because if anybody watches my lives, they know I'm not a huge believer in these orbs. Not the ones that people bring to you and say, "Look at this orb." No, that was a freaking bug in your IR light.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I
So
have gotten a lot of people that ask me, like during my Bigfoot research, is have you seen an orb above Bigfoot or around Bigfoot? I say no. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but no. We just see
yeah.
his big old eyeball reflecting back at us. So,
I,
yeah.
I have heard of people that have witnessed these orbs, these balls of light, and they're not coming through the IR. They're seeing them with their eyes. I haven't taken any of those reports. I can tell you that. But I've heard on other shows and other encounter stories, people do witness these things. So I don't know. I've never seen what I saw wasn't what people describe in these with those glowing balls of light. What I saw, I couldn't tell you how big it was. It could have been the size of a dime, or it could have been the size of a baseball, but it's hard to tell at night when it's dark and then how bright it is. Kind of, it's hard to tell what the size of a light is.
Right.
Distance.
I managed to see one of these things too. I didn't even know what it was. I didn't know if it would call it an orb. It just rolled across the road like a little, maybe about the size of a softball, and it was shiny, almost glistening. It wasn't, it was bright daylight, and it looked like gas on top of water. How that
Really?
little film, it has all those little colors. We seen that, me and my brother, when we were coming back, driving back to the house on a dirt road. First, I seen it, and I sat there and I looked at it. It kind of rolled out of the bushes, little rabbit thorn bushes. And I was sitting there driving, and I looked at it, and then my brother, he was in the back seat, and he's like, "What the hell is that?" He was like, you see that too?" We both sat there. We all looked at it. It just rolled across the road, and when I reached the other side, my brother, he kind of looked out, and he didn't see nothing. Like, what was that? It's like, dude, I don't know. It was just weirdness like that, man. I can't explain it, but I don't know what it was. I don't know if it's an orb. Probably know it could be someone's soul rolling around outside. I don't know. I could not tell you. But
Oh, we got a question here, Mr. Curly. Some people are saying the orbs are show when they are in another dimension, or I think he's saying the orbs show when they are in another dimension.
could be.
You know what?
Yeah.
This is how I approach the paranormal. You're right. Everybody's right. Because until we have concrete evidence, everything's on the table.
Right.
It could all be aliens. It could all be extra dimensional. It could be just physical things that are here that we just haven't discovered. We don't know. And until we have scientific or concrete evidence, everybody's right. I'm not here to judge what you think they are.
Yeah, I hear you on that side too. Like, there's no really ghost professionals. There's no expert at this, because no one actually managed to capture one. Like physically, put it in a bottle. There's even with this Bigfoot, no one knows. No one really knows. It seems like this guy just keeps getting weirder and weirder every time people tells a story. To be times where they see him, then he just vanishes. Walks behind a tree and that's it. And other times he's jumping around in the trees. Who knows, man? It's really everything's up in the air when it comes down to this Bigfoot fellow.
I tell people when it comes to Bigfoot, you have some people that are in that camp where it's flesh and blood, it's just an ape, it's nothing else. And then you have other people, it's all, interdimensional, it's from another realm or whatever. And then you have people that are in both. And I'm in another camp that you're all right. What I don't like is when these different camps get so entrenched in what they believe, they won't even listen to the other people.
Right.
Because anybody who claims to be an expert, that should tell you right there, they're not experts. They don't know what they're talking about. If I have a dog, and that is the sweetest dog I've ever had, it just wags its tail at everybody and wants to be petted. And then my neighbor comes and says, "Hey, when you weren't home yesterday, your dog bit me." We could both be right, but to my neighbor, my dog's vicious. To me, my dog's a sweetheart. That doesn't mean that we're not both right. It's just we have different interactions with this creature. So could it be both? Absolutely. Could it be flesh and blood? Absolutely. Could it be just something from Planet X? Absolutely. We don't know.
What's the scariest Bigfoot story you heard, and what's the strangest Bigfoot story you heard since you started your show?
Scariest? I get a lot of Bigfoot. I'll tell you the funniest one, and that was Brian Goddard. He and his buddy were having a paintball fight in the woods at night. And
that sounds like fun.
Right? I guess they had tied like those laser pens to their paintball markers. And they were acting like they were, snipers and stuff with this. Well, they realized that the other person could see their lasers and could tell where they were at. So they took their lasers, both of them took their lasers off and like had them sitting to like draw the other person away from them as kind of a decoy. Well, Brian saw his buddy, what he thought was his buddy, like crouched down. He starts lighting him up with a paintball gun.
Oh shit!
And then it stood up. Brian Goddard is 6'8", and this thing was 2 feet taller than him.
Wow!
So he sees this and he's like, "No," and he runs. Was his buddy comes running up the trail beside him, saw the same thing. His buddy had done the same thing from the other side, had shot Bigfoot with a paintball gun.
Wow.
From the other side when he saw him stand up. Because he thought Bigfoot was Brian because Brian's so tall. He started lighting him up and then realized that's not Brian. So that's probably my favorite Bigfoot story I've heard on my show.
That's a good one.
Well, that poor soul. I can just imagine the smile switching when he sees this thing just standing up. Like laughter fades away. Like, oh shit!
Right.
Oh man.
Right. Oh man. And then I've had a lot of I haven't had a lot of like super scary ones. Had a guy that was when he was younger, like 10, 11 years old, I think. He was at a Bible camp or something like that. And in the middle of the night, he saw something walk past the window of the cabin he was in, and the windows were like 8 feet off the ground. And not long after that, all the lights in the camp came on, and all the counselors or whatever were telling everybody to stay in their cabins, and all the men were out with guns. And then they started hearing stuff hitting the cabin, and this went on, I forget how long he said, like an hour or whatever. And the next morning when they got up, there were tree branches and boulders on top of the cabin.
Wow. Well, ain't that a faith building experience right there? Going to some Bible camp, getting attacked right there.
It
Right.
happens. It happens. It happens. I've been to a Bible camp as well, and everyone thought it was a skinwalker bothering us every night, but it was Sasquatch. He was bothering the Hogan with the little girls in there, and they actually seen him trying to be a peeping Tom. So,
well, you know, they do say that Bigfoot, you know, reacts to women more differently than they do with men. So,
oh yeah,
yeah, for sure. Sure.
Sea Sun Dragon translucent energy mist. I have seen them. That gives you impression of dimensional energy, and seen behind 3 Bigfoots as they moved in behind the trees, up country growing up. Then they vanished. Yep. Oh, behind the trees, up country growing up. Okay, that's pretty cool. I have never seen that, but that is awesome right there. Patsy, Bigfoot goes home and says, "Honey, you won't believe this. You've seen us. You've seen us." Fabian Perez. Hey, what's up, Fabian?
What's up, Fabian?
Good evening. Nights Bros. I'm in the house. What's up, Fabian? Oh, yeah. So, what about little people? You guys got a lot of little people there. What they call it? The name?
The Puckwudgies.
Oh man, Puckwudgies.
Yeah. You hear tales of them a little farther north. Good friend of mine, Brandon from Tinfoil Tales. He has some pretty good stories from the Peru, Indiana area that he's heard of the Puckwudgies. Yeah, they're just little people that live in the woods and cause chaos, and pranksters and stuff like that. Now, Rod, he has some really good little people stories.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. You haven't heard of Rod for a while too.
I know. He hasn't posted anything in a while either. I need to text him. I know what's going on.
Yeah,
I texted him the other day just to see if he's okay. He seemed he's okay, but I'll shoot him another text again.
Yeah.
We're gonna have a Zuni, one of our Zuni buddies coming on, and he's gonna share some little people stories.
Oh, awesome.
As far as we do have a lot of the ceremonial dresses, and I did have a Navajo gentleman share with me that he did see a little person. This is on top of Black Mesa, and he was basically paralyzed, and he barely opened his eyes. And there was I believe he said there was 4 of them were sitting on his chest, and they were dressed in the traditional Navajo attire of the Navajo deities. They were dancing on his chest, and they were walking out. As they're walking away from him, he was able to sit up, and he was trying to walk after them. And he see them walking outside. They got out. They opened the door. They walked out, turned the corner of the house, and into the forest. They're gone.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
Oh, just dancing around his heart or something.
Yeah.
I just wonder how many times they're around and we just don't notice them.
Right. That's what I keep telling my family too. Like, I never seen anything you talk about. Like, yeah, me either. It just happens, It's like, when you're driving on the road, you don't look around you. You look forward, and like, who knows? There's elk there. There's deer and livestock, running around in the woods. But just because you don't see them doesn't mean they're there, Like, when's the last time you seen a bear, let alone bear skulls and stuff like that in the woods. So they're out there just not willing to show themselves, or you're just not really looking, So
I agree.
Yeah. Real quick here, let me interrupt you guys again. Z-Sun Dragon story above. One was taller, 8 foot, one 6 foot, one was 4 foot childlike.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That's
Do you
the ones
remember what color
weird.
Z-Sun Dragon? I wonder if you remember the color. That'd be cool. Crazy Coyote 1313 from an ex Comanche girlfriend to prevent little people from bothering you. Clean your homes and yards.
Yep.
I hate that.
Yep, that's one of those lores that I heard too. Clean your house, clean your kitchen before you go to bed, and you're gonna end up attracting little people. So don't leave any food out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
They were brown. Z-Sun says they were brown.
Oh, they were brown, huh? That's pretty cool. I wonder where was this at, Z-Sun Dragon? Let's see here. It's typos, eh? It's all good. We all make typos. So, what's the since you started your podcast, what is one of the strangest cryptids that you heard about that you think that no one has ever heard or seen before yet?
Just listen to your episode. Jesus.
Oh, hey, it's your episode. It's your episode.
No, the episode with you on it. That was some of the strangest between you and Rod. That was some of the strangest cryptids that I've heard of. Like I never didn't know centaurs really existed until I talked to you.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
I know. I need to have you back on. We need to talk more about that.
Oh man, Darren, did you share with them your Dogman sighting?
Yeah, I shared a couple of stories, Matt. And that was more than a couple of months ago, huh?
Yeah.
Well, time flies.
I know.
You're having fun.
I know. Like I said, it's
time,
your episode's getting ready to drop here. I think in like 2 or 3 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
First time Darren shared with the Dogman episode. It took him. It was pretty hard, wasn't it, Darren? It was pretty hard for you to.
Oh yeah, it's it's something you always hold to yourself. You were there, you seen it, and you do your best to explain what you see. You just live through the whole situation over and over. But like I said, it's always good to talk about it. For me, I had no one to talk to. I talked to used to talk with my family, and they just kind of looked at me like, "What the hell?" So it's just one thing. You just gotta suffer alone. And right now, that's not a good thing. You always should be allowed to suffer with your friends. Suffer with your family. So it makes it a lot easier.
I agree. And if you need somebody to talk to, you can contact me at mythsandmullets@gmail.com.
Right there.
I'll be glad to talk to you.
Yeah.
Same here.
Just need that mullet, then everything will be all right. Z-Sun Dragon.
Codex of Curiosities. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, what's up, Ray? Z-Sun Dragon. He said that New Brunswick, Canada, Camp Pendleton. Oh man, yeah, Canada. Crazy Coyote 13, Arizona Lake Powell has skin fin. It's either a giant catfish or a long necked dinosaur, just like the San Juan River monster. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I have eyes that said that it was a black serpent with horns, and they said its head had to be wider than 3 feet. Probably 4 feet is the size of its head, and it's black. It comes out of the lake, and it goes under the dirt. When you see the dirt shifting like this, he's crawling underneath the dirt towards Antelope Point, Antelope Canyon, and another part of the reservation. She was on one of our earlier episodes on her area along the San Juan River. They would feel the ground shake, and they say that's when the serpent is shifting.
So it's kind of like the movie Tremors,
right? Graboids, man. Who knows?
Yeah, the graboids.
My mom's favorite show. I remember her screaming and yelling at that as a child, like it's just a movie. It's just a movie, Mom.
But are they really movies, or are they just trying to tell us the what's really going on?
Yeah, the entertainment always tries to hide, secret information out in public.
Yep.
Make it seem, just add a little humor to it, and you got yourself a well hidden cryptic being right there. So
Look what they've done with Bigfoot and UFOs and everything else.
Right.
They make fun of them, make them into these, cuddly creatures, and
Mhm.
I don't know. I think it's just soft disclosure, and eventually it's going to come out, and they're going to say, "Well, we were kind of telling you that already."
Right. Yeah, they used to have that. Was it American Werewolf in London type deal? And, they used to laugh about it, but after a while, I heard people talk like, what, the exact werewolf that was in there? Well, people seen it, and they always wonder, like, these entertainment business had to do some type of research, or the people that made these cosmetics and the mechanics on this body, these creatures, must have had something, knew something about it. So
Maybe because they were werewolves.
right, like who knows, like who exactly knows.
This is gonna bring me another question to ask you about Dogman, but let's catch up real quick, guys. Codea's Codex of Curiosities doing good. That's nice to hear. Right? Let's see here. He says at dawn sounds like Ogopogo from Okanagan. Yeah, that's what we've been hearing. Same creature possibly. I just watched Trimmers a couple days ago. It's probably one of the things I gotta check out again. Old J.C. Johnson, AZ Four Corners Cryptid, also claims San Juan River has black snakes the size of anacondas. Oh man, I gotta check that out again. Okay. So
yeah, I think kind of terrorizing myself going back home now. All these places that I like to go, it seems to be something swimming around the lake now, and stuff running around the trees. It's like, is anywhere safe? Back in the res, probably not,
Right.
but it's home.
Hello, Sherry. How are you?
So, Dogman, Mr. John, how many? What's the scariest stories you got on there? What's up, Sherry?
Hey,
Scariest Dogman story.
Or any Dogman story. Strange.
My
funny?
first Dogman story I got whenever I was doing my TikTok lives. That was Boone from Maine. He was driving a semi. He was hauling water to like a mine or something. And he come around this corner and he had Dogman looking right into the cab of his truck. And he said that because he had also seen Bigfoot several times, and Bigfoot didn't have the same effect on him that Dogman did. Like, he said it just felt pure evil, whereas Bigfoot felt more like just an upright walking ape. And I do have Old Bear coming on in a couple weeks, and we're going to talk Dogman. He's had several Dogman encounters. Old Bear has some really good. That's my next two episodes come out this week, Wednesday and Saturday. He has some amazing Bigfoot encounters that he's had over the last 40 years. So everybody needs to check those out. Some violent ones at that. Some pretty.
You need to hear it. Violent, non-violent. I say this. This is information. It's information. It's valuable information that needs to be out there, so we can all, learn how to coexist with them eventually and make intelligent contact one day. it could be. It's a long shot, but it's possible. It's possible.
I always wonder if the reason we don't hear about more violent encounters is people didn't survive.
Right. Yeah.
The government they'll lock that whole area down. So what I've been hearing from a lot of my witnesses is the government will show up in unmarked SUVs and take everyone's cell phones, everybody, and they will tell everyone to stay inside the house, and they'll go to each and every house and basically tell them that they didn't see what they saw, they didn't hear what they saw. It's someone on drugs, or it was a pack of dogs. That's the basic procedure on Navajo land that I've been getting. Over up.
All I gotta say is listen to my episode that comes out next Saturday. There's a incident that involves the government coming in and cleaning up an area. Let's put it that way.
Definitely. What's the episode name, just for the listeners that might want to check that out?
It's called. Look it up. I name these things a month and ahead of time. I don't remember what it's called now. I think it's called Aggressive Encounters. Something Aggressive Encounters. It is.
Yeah.
Aggressive Encounters, Bigfoot and Dogman.
So what do you think it is? Does these Dogman, you think there's another branch of Bigfoot? Same DNA.
I used to think that it maybe misidentification of Bigfoot. That maybe it was like more of a baboon type Bigfoot. But then as I started listening to more and more of these encounters, it's not. This is its own entity. I hear a lot of people say, maybe it was created in a lab. Maybe some of them, but these things, just like Bigfoot, have been reported for hundreds of thousands of years. You look, Egyptians, they idolized a god with the head of a jackal. Marco Polo came across an island full of dog-headed men. There were supposedly an entire civilization of dogmen in India.
For the life of me, I forgot what they're called.
Cynocephaly?
Yeah, cynocephaly, yeah. I think they even have a dog saint too. Saint Francis? Was it Saint Francis? Yeah, I think so. But he's depicted with the dog-shaped face too. So
he was a dog man, and basically he was wild. And according to the legend or the stories, he basically found Christianity, changed his ways, and started helping people. In some of the versions of the story, he actually changed from this dog-headed creature to a human. In other versions of the story, he never did change. He was always this dog-headed creature, but he was a warrior that basically became peaceful. Saint Christopher.
Right. Rye says Saint Christopher.
Yeah.
Question real quick from Rye. Question for you guys. Do you feel that more and more creatures are surfacing or appearing, such as end times predicted? Or is it just that there's more people and more cameras with cell phones?
Nice
Actually,
question.
I think there's been, I don't think there's an uptick. What I think it is there's more shows like this. There's more people willing to talk about it now. If you look at, if you think back, even like when I was a kid, you talked about any of this stuff, you were made fun of, you were ostracized. So, I think it's just more people are feeling more comfortable coming out and talking about this because other people are willing to do it. You have shows like your guys' is like mine. There's countless podcasts and stuff like that about the paranormal and cryptids and stuff like that. I think people are just more comfortable talking about it. So I don't know that there's more.
Especially after they've seen something and they can't explain it, or they're just researching and they would come across something like this. Crazy Coyote 1313 about your giant worms. About 5 years ago, paleontologists found jawbones of a prehistoric ocean worm. The jawbone was 5 feet long. The actor Burt Germer Trimmers said, "I warned you." uh, Emerson Nez, Big Snake in St. Michael's, Arizona. I told the Rangers he asked if I was smoking weed. Oh man,
I always want to know how much weed do you have to smoke to be able to hallucinate a Bigfoot or a dog man?
Right. That's what I'm saying too. Is like, what are you guys smoking if you guys making stories like these? I guess it's just like, oh, you just seen a bear. Just leave it alone. Like, so.
Oh man. Crazy Coyote 1313. My Nellies / grandmas land old stories around Twin Peaks area, Navajo Reservation, about a giant snake there. And it's another location right there. BCast. My mom talked about a dog looking between. Okay. My mom talked about a dog looking being that drove them away from the homestead. When she was a teen, used to think it was a skinwalker, but she described it had a huge dog on 2 legs. Oh man. Codega's Codex of Curiosity, St. Christopher's. St. Christopher was depicted as a oh man, I'm gonna have a hard time saying this. Cynocephaly. There you go. You said that earlier. Cynocephaly. Dog-headed man. Wow. It's pretty St. Christopher.
Yeah, I said St. Francis. It's almost 11 o'clock here. Okay, I'm tired.
Right. Same.
But, one more hour. I'm just kidding.
I knew he was doing something. I know what they say, the Marco Polo, like these they were spice growers or some form like that. They grew spices. So
if I'm remembering right, he did trade with them. Like they were trading with these dog-headed men.
Yeah, these old ship, how would you call it, adventurers back then. They reported a bunch of stuff. Like they had one Greek beings that their face was on their chest and stuff like that. I don't know if it's just something to stay away. They just made up stories to stay away, or how they would draw a dragon. Like this is where dragons are from. Like
I think dragons are real.
Really out there. Oh yeah, they definitely are. Sure,
they are.
So
we got a quick question from Codega right here. With all the stories about giant snakes, it makes you wonder about Serpent Mound. You're close to Serpent Mound too, John.
Yeah, I've been there.
He says, John, no excuses.
Yeah, well, it is what it is, man. I'm tired.
Oh
man, well,
yeah, Serpent Mound if you look into that, there's a lot of weird stuff from there, and that's not far from where I had my possible Bigfoot encounters.
Serpent Mound. Wow.
A quick question right here. Crazy Coyote 1313, quantum mechanics student here. The reason why blurry camera phones of Bigfoot Dogman. It is not the person, it is the phone's AI that you have to fight to focus the pictures. Huh.
I think sorry, I was yawning.
Oh
I'm
man.
tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired. Codega's Codex of Curiosity. I have a kind of a theory on why the pictures are always blurry. Have you ever seen when they try to take high-speed photos of a peacock unfurling its tail? Like it vibrates so fast that they have trouble getting a clear picture of the feathers. Have you ever ridden horses?
Oh yeah.
And they can shake their skin to get a fly off of them?
Oh yeah.
What if Bigfoot can do that?
Just shake its
shakes its skin
body,
and its hair moves to the point where you can't capture.
That's real interesting. That's a real interesting.
My first Bigfoot, his red hair. Reason why I knew it was red hair because of red dirt. But when he started shaking, you can tell his red hair was shaking as well, moving. Like you can tell his individual parts, that like a ghillie suit. That's what I got.
You hear it all
like,
the time.
Oh my god.
You hear it all the time.
So,
They talk about like it the whole thing was shaking. Well, what if it's just moving its fur or its hair to the point where it makes it blurry? That's just I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm no expert. That's just something I thought about.
Yeah. And while it was screaming, and I think it added to the shaking as well. Because my insides was shaking. I think my eyeballs was shaking. Everything was shaking. It's like, oh snap! Yeah, I wish I knew what speak for. But okay. What about ghost stories? You got any good ghost stories? We got a few more minutes here.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can tell you everything that happened when we were at the Randolph County Infirmary that changed my mind about the paranormal.
Yeah.
So, so the whole thing with the mullet is this guy I used to work with. He came in with this fake mullet, and we started taking pictures and just being goofy. Okay. And we even came up with the name John Cougar Hunter Methencamp that night. But this same guy, he and I were pretty close friends, and like we had watched that docu-series Hellier. Did you ever watch that?
No.
It was weird. Some people like it, some people don't. I liked it. But it had a lot to do with about the Mothman and stuff like that. So one of the things they had done on there was the Estes experiment. And that was the first time I'd ever seen anybody do that. Was on that show. Well, I live 15 minutes, 20 minutes from Randolph County Infirmary. I'm like, let's just go do a ghost hunt there. We'll try some of this stuff that we've seen on these shows. And I went in, I was going to debunk everything. I was like, you guys are crazy. This stuff ain't real. I'm going to figure it out. You guys are going to be scared, and I'm going to figure out what you're scared of. So we went in. There was a group of like 16 of us, 16 to 20, I forget. This place is huge. It's like 58,000 square feet. It's a massive building. So my wife had got her digital camera. She has a pretty nice digital camera. Put fresh batteries in it, and we were taking pictures around the outside of the building because it's a beautiful building. I forget how many we took outside. Well, then we went inside and started taking pictures, and her batteries died after about 12 pictures inside.
Quick question. Yeah. This infirmary, what kind of infirmary is it? Is it like type of what do you call it? The white typhoid?
No, this was it was for people that their families couldn't take care of them. They would just basically drop them off and say, this thing was open from like the middle of the 1800s. And it closed in like 2002 or something like that. But so yeah, I mean, it was just people were just dropped off there because we can't take care of this person. We have too many mouths to feed or whatever. We can't have somebody that's disabled. So the first thing that happened that night, other than batteries dying, we decided to do that Estes experiment. And the first guy that was going to go, he sits down. We're in the morgue of the infirmary. And there was a table in there and a chair and then a bunch of other chairs we drug in there. And he puts the headphones on, blindfold on. And I have a camera pointed directly at his face, like we're recording everything. And we start asking him questions. And he's just sitting there, like not saying anything. I'm like, this is bullshit. I knew this stuff wasn't going to work. It's all fake. It's all, Hollywood. Well, then all of a sudden he starts like swaying back and forth. Then he starts like breathing real heavy, like hyperventilating, breathing heavy. And we're all looking at each other. What the hell is he doing? I think you even hear in a video somebody say, "Is he dancing?" And all of a sudden he screams, "I'm dead." And like he is sobbing, crying. And my buddy goes over and takes the blindfold off him. This grown man has tears running down his face and he is sobbing. And we're looking at each other like, what the hell just happened? You know? So my buddy and that guy's wife take him upstairs to get him calmed down. I end up doing the Estes experiment after he went upstairs. And I put the headphones on. And we hadn't tested this spirit box that we hooked this thing up to. And it was going through the radio station so fast that all you heard was white noise. Like it didn't even stop at the radio stations so you could hear anything. So for like 8 minutes, he was in sensory deprivation, hearing nothing but white noise. And I'm like, okay, he put himself in a trance. That's all it was. Okay. So I start doing the Estes experiment, and I'm hearing words and I'm repeating them. And I didn't know it until I went back through the footage. But at one point, that guy and his wife, I can hear them in the recording coming down the stairs and coming into the room. And as that's happening, I said, she goes, no, intruder, she goes with child. And, you know, at the time, I didn't know that they even came in the room at the time when I was saying this. I didn't realize this until after I went back and looked at the footage. So I go to the guy and I'm like, you know, first we're like, what happened to you? You know, why'd you scream that? And he says, well, he put the headphones on and he was hearing this white noise. And he felt too that he got put into a trance. But he said he felt like he was walking down in his mind. He was walking down the hallway to the room that we were in. But he said he felt like he walked for like 2 hours and he was getting panicked. And finally, he found the room. And when he walked in, he saw himself sitting in the chair with all of us around him. So he thought he was having an out-of-body experience. And that's why he said, I'm dead. Because he thought he had died and was looking at himself. So I was like, okay. So I tell him, and I'm like, dude, I go to work. And I'm like, hey, I got a personal question for you. Is your wife pregnant? And all the color leaves his face. He's like, why? I tell him, well, you know, when you guys walked in the room, I said, intruder, she goes with child. And he's like, she was at the time, but she lost the baby.
Wow.
It's like, that's too big of a coincidence, man. Why would I say that? And she was pregnant at that time, you know?
Oh, that's
So
that's
you guys
pretty
came seances, huh?
That's basically what it is. I mean, it's no different than a Ouija board, really. It's not. It's a device that you're using to contact spirits.
Well, that's an interesting way to meditate, I think. White noise. I think might want to try that. So,
yeah.
Wow.
I've seen a movie with Kevin, that guy that that movie called White Noise.
White
Noise. After that movie, I'm like, I don't like white noise.
Yeah. That's the most annoying thing when you watch these like ghost hunting shows and they got that spirit box and like, shut that damn thing off, man. Nobody wants to hear that.
For real. I heard Patsy, if I see Bigfoot or Dogman, I won't be taking pictures. I will be running. Exactly, Patsy. Let's see here. Quantum mechanics sound vibrations, when it's moving fast enough, can move anything to the sound barrier and possibly phase solid objects through each other.
Everything's
comes
vibrations.
Back again. Oh yeah. Yep. Crazy Coyote 1313, the Great Serpent of Indians, Lake.
Indiana's Lake
Wow.
Wawasee.
Indiana's Lake. Wow. See, that's Ojibwe, huh? Or the local tribe there. What's your local tribe there?
We have the Delaware, the Miami, and there's one more. I'm drawing a blank because I'm tired.
It's 11 o'clock. It's 11 somewhere.
But the Miami and the Delaware were the two big ones in the area. But that is, I think they all are part of. I think it's all part of like Ojibwe.
Oh, the language, family language. So I remember the story that, real quick here. I remember a story that, like one of the portals the Anasazis opened up, these pale crawlers came through and started harassing humanity. That's one of the stories that I forgot to share with you.
I think people just need to stop trying to figure out how to open portals, man. There's so much weird stuff crawling through it, and basically all these movies that they have, there's always something creeping out. I think last one I seen was Stranger Things. They're opening up portals and these things come crawling out, and I don't know. I think just don't do it. I think is better. Just don't do it.
Right. Yeah. Well, a lot of people say that the mounds have portal properties. So
I would have done it. But
I opened we opened up a portal one time with a Ouija board, but that's not recommended. Don't try it. Sorry, go ahead, Darren. Didn't mean to cut you off.
At the beginning, we were talking, and you mentioned that you brought up the old. Well, actually, it's a new recording. That the guy had seen that guy with the bloody face, and the cop. I guess it jumped in the back of his truck. And didn't you say you lived near that area too, or?
No, that was in North Carolina. North or South Carolina.
Oh shoot.
Bodega. Can you fact check me on that? No, it was one of the Carolinas, and that happened in like 2017, I think. It's just now making the rounds, as far as I know.
Wow.
But somebody interviewed that guy, and it was on Wes's show. He played both the 911 call, and then at the end he played whoever interviewed the guy.
Right.
That's where he described basically the same thing I saw.
Yeah. That's one thing I seen too. So.
Hey, we're getting close to end of our show. Darren, do you have any questions for John?
Oh no, it's always good to talk. Like I said, and we got another format to add on right here. Myth, monsters, and mullets. Thank you in taking your time out of bedtime to go talk to us. So it's
he's in his pajamas. Show us what kind of pajamas you got there, John. No,
actually, I just have my "Don't Follow Me" Bigfoot shirt.
Don't follow me. Oh man. John, could you share with everybody where they can find you at again?
Yeah, you can look for me just about anywhere. Myths, Monsters, and Mullets. Like I said earlier, I am not on Apple Podcasts at the moment, but that'll be changing soon. Most any other place you find your podcast, YouTube. You can find me on Facebook. You can look up John Fike. I don't care. I can only add 5,000 people as friends. I think I got 3,000 on there. So if you want to add me as a friend, better do it quick.
Blows up.
Triple M.
But if you have a paranormal encounter and would like to be on the show, you can contact me at mythsandmullets@gmail.com. I am scheduling for January right now. So I'm booked up till the end of the year.
Oh man. Wow. I'm gonna have to go back on our episode and see what stories I didn't share with you. Then
yeah. You have 2 episodes actually.
Oh yeah. That's right.
Yeah, because we went for 2 hours when you came in, so we did two episodes. So,
interesting.
We talked about talked about everything, but we didn't. I don't think we spent a lot. I think you were supposed to come back on and talk about I forget now. Hang on, it's been a while. I think we did your interview back in July or something.
It's been a minute. If I'm gonna have to go look into it again, and I'll write down what I didn't share, and I'll hit you back up again. We'll definitely plan for January
Absolutely
sometime. Darren, what about you? You shared your stories with him on his.
Yeah. I don't know how long that recording was, but
we only did an hour. You were pretty tired that day. You'd worked all day, and it was hot.
Oh, dude, it's oil field life kind of just wears you down. So.
Hey, it came all the way back around. Now you're tired on our show.
right. But I really do appreciate you guys, coming on my show. Let me come on and tell my story on here. This is the kind of stuff I enjoy about being a podcaster, is meeting guys like you.
Well, John, I was ready to cry with you, to be honest. And you said, I'm going to get emotional. And I was like, all right, I'm ready. Next is Hollywood. Let me get ready to cry here. But yeah, man, let's see. Let's read any more final comments here. Brad Pitbull. Oh, speaking of Hollywood, in the house. Cheers from Los Angeles, California. Hey, what's up, LA? Patsy, good show. Thank you, Patsy. Codega, great show. Thank you, Codega. Carla Washington, did you guys hear about J.C. Johnson's story of the man who couldn't turn back into human form, and he had to stay werewolf for the rest of his days? He asked a man if he could guard his home. Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah, I heard that too. Like, there's a whole bunch of conspiracy things that go on out there in Farmington. That's one of them.
Right. So, as long as he let him live on his land. Guard his home as long as he let him live. Yeah, don't feed him. So I've been hearing a lot of people say, don't feed the dog, man. Don't feed him, because once you run out of dog food, you run out of leftovers, he's coming to rip you apart. And
I think it's the same thing with Bigfoot.
Cover it up. Yeah.
I don't believe in gifting, not food.
Yeah. Right. He tried taking us as kids. He tried taking my mother, my sister, my cousin. So I wouldn't trust him with my kids. I would not trust him. Yep. But yeah, is there any final questions you want to ask John before we close out the show, Darren?
No, not really, not at this time. But again, thank you for coming on, joining us for the show, and being tired with us. So.
I owed you one.
Tomorrow, Manic Monday. All right. So thank you, John, for your time and joining us here. You help make the show a lot funnier, and you help lesson us with that mullet there. Trying to be serious, but I see that mullet, and I was just playing. I'm just playing dry jokes here, dry jokes. But
like I said,
the honor.
I was voted #1 podcast with the host with the fake mullet. So,
oh man.
And that was unanimous by the people who live in my house.
Nice. Win's a win. A win's a win. That's right. So I'm gonna be closing out the show, and thank you again, John, for your time and being tired here. And I think I see another line of bags under your eyes form just as I finished.
I think it's 3 of them now.
Oh yeah, sorry about that. But all right, man, we're gonna kick you guys off and close out the show. So,
all right,
say laters one more time.
Good. Laters.
All right. Thank you guys for tuning into Don't Whistle at Night. We've been broadcasting live here on the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans. You guys have a great weekend. Enjoy your week. Don't forget to stretch out. And when the sun goes down, don't whistle at night. You guys have a great one.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.